What's up, Hala? So you want to know how a Viking ship is put together? Whether you're an author, artist, or just all-around nerd, don't worry, I got you covered. The key element of any Viking ship, or really any wooden sailing vessel of this size, is going to be the keel. That is, the piece of wood that runs the entire length from back to front of the ship, from stern to bow. And on a Viking ship, this is actually going to be a very shallow keel. Unlike a lot of modern sailboats today, it's not going to extend much below the hull at all. And this is very important because it allows the boat to actually rotate on its center axis if you really wanted it to. You can 360 a Viking longship if you were good at the oars. And radiating out from the keel of the boat is going to be a series of ribs. This is going to make up the skeleton of the boat, and the ribs are what the planks that make up the hull of the ship are going to be secured to. The ribs are also reinforced with pieces of wood planks that run the width or beam of the ship, and they're called thwarts. And in some ships, this is also going to double as the actual rowing benches that you sit on when you're rowing. The planks that make up the hull of the ship can be secured to the structure in a number of different ways. There are a variety of different fasteners that have been used throughout history. A common fastener is going to be tree nails, which is essentially a wooden dowel that is shoved into a hull. And most commonly is going to be copper nails, which is still popular in wooden vessels today. The nail is shoved all the way through, and anything that pokes out the other side is clipped off, and then it's hammered like it is a rivet. And the reason for copper over other metals is because copper doesn't really rust or anything like that. And on top of that, copper is pretty toxic to a lot of marine life that might try and attach itself to the hull, such as barnacles. Now, the actual planks of the ship are attached in what's called a clinker or lapstrake structure, as opposed to more modern carvel designs. Carvel structures, carvel ships, the planks are butted up against each other, which provides the boat a remarkable amount of rigidity, which is important for very large ships with complicated mast arrays. Viking ships, however, only have a single mast and a simple square rig system, so they don't need to worry about rigidity as much, and instead can take full advantage of a lapstrake's flexibility on the water. And in between the planks, in order to help make the boards watertight, you'll find what's called caulking, which is essentially a fibrous material covered in pitch shoved in between the planks. And this fibrous material can be made out of a variety of things, commonly the same kinds of stuff you would use to make rope and clothes out of. But we also see clothes being recycled on occasion, having pulled out fragments of garments in the excavations in Hathabu when digging up Viking ships. And that's actually why we have entire garments survive from the Viking Age, is because some of them were used as caulking on Viking ships. The mast itself is actually plugged into the center of the keel via a pin and then reinforced at the base with what's called the foot of the mast. The mast actually has a lot more going on that helps keep it from falling over rather than just that one little foot and pin at the bottom, but that is a video for another time.